What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Just Cuz TV channel. We're continuing Christmas week here on the channel. It's WrestleMania time! Cousin Steve back at it here for WrestleMania. How you doing, man? Yes.
What's up, buddy?
You ready to go, man? So we got Masters this week. We got WrestleMania this week. I feel like this is our personal Christmas.
Yeah, and it's my birthday.
And it's Steve's birthday. Wish Steve happy birthday down below in the comments, guys. Happy birthday, Steve. What better way to celebrate? You literally have the most perfect birthday in the world because not only do we get WrestleMania and we get the Masters, for real.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. Like one of these years, we got to take a trip somehow to both, and it'll be the ultimate birthday ever.
Yep, that's our goal. One day, hit them both. Hit Masters on a Thursday, Friday, and then head to wherever WrestleMania is at and go to that. Maybe even the Raw on Monday too. I think that'd be pretty awesome too. Kicking things off.
Yeah, especially if it's close to Georgia and make the trip shorter.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Hopefully it's somewhere in Florida then. We can just drive on down from there or something like that. I don't have to take a flight.
Yeah.
But, guys, WrestleMania is here. This year, it's a two-parter. We're going to have 7 matches currently scheduled for Saturday, 7 matches currently scheduled for Sunday, blockbuster event on Masters Sunday here as well. Let's go, Steve. Kicking things off here on Saturday. Match number 1 on our card. We've got the SmackDown Women's Championship. Current title holder Sasha Banks is going up against Royal Rumble winner Bianca Belair. We called it at the Fastlane pay-per-view, Steve, or I should say you did. Knew This match was coming after that tag team match. Let's go, Steve. Where are you going here with this one? Who's going to win this title?
So this is one that it could go either way. You know, WWE likes to pull the rug out for some pushes. But personally, I think you got, like, if you're going to give the Royal Rumble win to someone, especially someone sort of young and upstart and has never won before, you got to give them win the WrestleMania. You got to give them your WrestleMania moment. You got to continue their push. So I think Bianca wins here. At least that's the smart play.
Yeah. Would you say, I totally agree. Is this like a 9 out of 10 chance that Bianca wins this championship?
Yeah, I think it's almost a lock. I wouldn't quite call it a lock. There are definitely matches later that are much more like for sure, I feel like, or predictable. But, you know, in the world of sports entertainment, anything can happen, as, you know, Mr. McMahon would say.
Yep. And with Vince still there, it's not within his realm to say, hey, Bianca, you're going to win the Royal Rumble, and then we're not going to give you any sort of push whatsoever here at WrestleMania. But
yeah, see Nakamura.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I agree with you here. I don't think they would just say, hey, Bianca Belair, go out and win this Royal Rumble so you can lose at WrestleMania. That doesn't make no sense whatsoever. Yeah, I think Bianca Belair wins here too. Sasha Banks then, rematch coming up then, I would assume.
Yeah, I think you see it, you know, at the next pay-per-view.
Yep, I would agree here. Bianca Belair, Steve. We got 14 matches, so we're going to try to fly through these, only spend a couple minutes on each one. A lot of matches to touch on, a lot of information here. We're going to have some matches like this one that they're just filler matches to give people something to do, to go, you know, fill their popcorn, maybe get a new alcoholic beverage, adult beverage, sorry, everybody. But we got a tag team match coming up here. No stipulations or anything. Bad Bunny, who has no picture on WWE's website, with Damian Priest, taking on The Miz and John Morrison. Steve, who you got?
Just like his picture, I wish Bad Bunny was not in this match. I'm just not a fan of this whole Bad Bunny, like, whenever he showed up, just not a fan of it. You know, just give me my wrestlers. You know, the celebrity appearances are okay occasionally. Some of them, like Stephen Amell, who actually get in the ring and do a good job, I think are well done. Bad Bunny is not that. Yeah. So the sooner that this whole angle is over, the better. But I see very rarely does a celebrity lose, especially to heels. So I think it's got to be Bad Bunny and Priest.
Yeah. So my guess here, personally, Steve, you may disagree with this. I think Bad Bunny is going to pin The Miz here.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think that's where this angle's going.
Yeah, I don't like it, but that's probably what's going to happen.
Imagine being The Miz, who just came off a WWE Championship, Money in the Bank cash in, and then you lose and you get pinned clean by Bad Bunny. Like, that hurts.
Right. Yeah, like you were the WWE Championship. You were the WWE champion for what, 24 hours? Or no, like a week, because you made him wait.
Yep.
And like that was it. That's all you got. And now you're getting pinned clean by some random rapper that I've literally never heard of until he came onto a WWE pay-per-view.
Yeah, and he sucks. Like, I'm sorry, Steve, but this guy sucks at rapping. I don't understand a word he says. He's just bad.
I mean, you can sing in Spanish and you can sing in foreign languages. That's fine. Sure, that's totally fine. I don't have to understand, but I just don't like him.
That's totally
I was just
fair.
not a fan. So, but I think he wins.
It gives Damian Priest something to do here as well. I expect some high flying stuff out of him. John Morrison will help him out with that, I think. But Bad Bunny and Damian Priest, man. Come on.
Right.
Come on. I agree with it, though. Match number 3. Kicking things up here a little bit. Again, you'll notice, so almost no picture on WWE's website either. WWE, get it together. Get pictures for your wrestlers who are going to be in WrestleMania. All right? Come on. WWE Raw Tag Team Championship. We got the New Day going up against AJ Styles and Omos here. Kofi and Xavier Woods defending the belt. Steve, talk me through this one.
I think WrestleMania is the prime place for a title change. You see it a lot happen. It's very popular. Here, however, I don't think that happens. I think that WWE is so high in the New Day, especially dropping the belts to, Omos. Maybe to AJ Styles, I could see it, but to him and Omos, like really? I think some shenanigans is going to go down where, they get the best of Omos. The New Day does some tricky business. Maybe Big E shows up, helps him out. I think the New Day retain.
New Day retains. I would think maybe it would come. They can't pin Omos, right? I don't think that's a possibility at this point for how they built Omos.
Yeah.
So
maybe Omos gets out of hand, gets his qualification, puts him through a table or something like that, gets mad.
Sure. Could you see, maybe where AJ Styles is holding Kofi, let's say, and Omos comes in for a big kick, a big boot or something like that, and boots AJ Styles in the face? I feel like that is kind of what this is kind of going towards here. It's going to be an accident. I don't think AJ Styles needs Omos. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah, I for sure. It's AJ Styles. He doesn't need anyone. He just needs himself. I don't think they would break them up that early because that would put some weird dissemination between them. It feels kind of early for that whole relationship unless they're just straight soured on it, which I don't think they are.
Okay.
So I think something more along the lines of disqualification or like a surprise roll up or, something like that versus a miscommunication like that.
Yep. New Day. I'm with you, Steve. Super hot right now. Who doesn't love the New Day, right?
Oh yeah.
Dropping a belt to Omos at WrestleMania. No, bad booking in my opinion. For sure. So we'll take the New Day here. Again, Steve, I'm 3 for 3 with you here. I see all these matches going the same exact way. And I don't think it's going to get any different here with our 4th match here on the card. Steel cage match pulled away from Fastlane for WrestleMania to give Shane McMahon something to jump off of, I feel like. We've got Braun Strowman taking on Shane in the steel cage. Where are you going, Steve?
I really don't want to give this match much talk time just because I hate this worse than the Bad Bunny match because at least the Bad Bunny match has a storyline, right? This one is just, hey, Shane McMahon, I want to jump off things, and they just made some shit up, and here we are. Ta-da! So it's hard to bet against Shane McMahon, especially at a WrestleMania match. I think Shane wins. I think it's going to be some BS bullcrap. It'll probably be an entertaining match. Shane's not, for being old Papa McMahon now versus what he was, 20 years ago. He does pretty good, honestly. Yeah. So I think it'll be an entertaining match. I'm just not happy about it, and I think he wins.
Yep, I think more filler. I'm actually surprised, Steve. What odds do you give Shane McMahon on a percentage scale to win this match then? How confident?
Probably 75.
Okay.
So there's definitely room for error there.
Okay.
I think, they maybe, he puts one over for Strowman, but I just don't see it happening.
Okay. Do you think he climbs over the cage then, or comes out the door, I guess, is the other option? I don't think he pins Strowman here. I don't know about you.
He definitely doesn't pin him.
Because I think the first 5 or 10 minutes of this match is going to be Braun Strowman throwing Shane McMahon around the ring.
You know what I bet probably happens? I bet it's a Austin Big Show kind of thing where he runs into him and knocks a wall down and Shane rolls out and wins.
Okay.
Or he throws him into a wall and the wall falls down and then he technically wins. I bet. Okay. I'd be willing to bet that happens.
Yeah, the wall by the ramp maybe comes down or something like that and Shane miraculously rolls out of the cage and is the winner.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Because this match, I don't know if you remember, it was probably 5 years ago at this point, Steve, where Daniel Bryan was in that feud it was Mark Henry and the Big Show. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
A long time ago. And they did a steel cage match and we were like, what? Like it has that same sort of gimmicky feel about it where why is Shane in this match? And then you're like, okay, he might win this then by that angle if they choose to do that. So
Yep.
taking Shane over Braun Strowman. Do you think this continues after WrestleMania then?
God, I hope not.
Cool. We'll axe this one here then. Not giving this one any more time to talk here. Shane McMahon, Steve's pick to win here. Moving on to a match I personally am looking forward to. I'm in the Cesaro section, and I'm a big Seth Rollins fan. I love both these guys. Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. Finally here at WrestleMania, Steve. Take it away.
Love Cesaro. That guy. Why that guy's on a multiple-time world champion at this point? Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, you can ask Vince. He'll say he can't talk, but I mean, look at half the idiots he picks to be WWE champion. I'd say shit. So what the fuck does he know? This is a tougher one. I think this is a 50-50 match for sure. This could easily be the start of, multiple matches. This could, be the start of a rivalry. I know WrestleMania a lot of the times is an ending for a lot of rivalries. But this one, I think it continues to go on. I don't see. I would love for Cesaro to win, but I don't see them putting him over at WrestleMania. I don't know. It's just hard to get behind the fact of them getting behind Cesaro. So I think Seth Rollins wins, but I think this rivalry continues. Maybe he's like, haha, I beat you. Maybe it's in like a count out or, like I said, a disqualification or a roll. Something's going to happen to where this can continue. And if that's, or maybe if he beats him clean, he's like, haha, I beat you. And he's like, Cesaro's like, no, I'm going to show you what's up. If they're going to have another rubber match where if Cesaro loses, he's got to be like, he's got to follow the Messiah. He's got to follow Seth Rollins. So something like that.
You know what I think would be a really cool result maybe for something like this? They become a tag team. I don't know.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, so like maybe something where, let me throw this at you, Steve. Do you think this feud could continue till SummerSlam? Would you like that?
It depends on, I think for quality of wrestling match, absolutely. But you can only wrestle so many great matches and not have something to care about behind it. Hence why like heel versus heel matches are so not people involved in them because there's no storyline there other than I'm bad, you're bad, I don't care. So if they came up with something, I don't know what that would be, to continue to make this interesting, then yeah, sure, run it through August. And again, they're going to have great match after great match. So as long as you had a storyline behind it, I'd be into it.
Okay. Yeah, this is one. I've got this one circled. It's on my list for Saturday. I'm not missing this one. I have a Seth Rollins shirt. I've been a Seth Rollins guy for years. Love Cesaro. I'm in the Cesaro section for sure. I don't know who I'd pick this one personally, Steve. I just want to see a great match here, in all honesty.
Right. Just wrestle till we die.
Right. Yeah, just a 30-minute Iron Man match. See what happens. I'm looking forward to this one. I'm not picking a winner here, but Steve, taking Seth Rollins, it sounds like you're 50-50, right on the dot here.
Yeah, I think it could go either way. But just for me, the history of the non-booking for Cesaro is what gets me.
I agree. Yep, Seth Rollins has always been top tier, Mr. Monday Night, stuff like that. Yep, I agree there with that point for sure. Getting away from this, looking forward to that one. Our sixth match here on Saturday, we've got a tag team turmoil match with 4 women's tag teams. The winner of this match gets a shot on Sunday at the Tag Team Women's Championship. We've got Lana and Naomi, Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose, the Riot Squad, of course, Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott, with Natalya and Tamina. Who you got, Steve? Talk me through this one.
I personally would love to see a team like Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose, 2 girls who I think are very much underappreciated in the women's division. I think Dana is incredibly athletic. She's really strong. I think Mandy Rose is continuously improving, has shown that she's gotten a lot better in the ring. They both have great looks, both have great gimmicks, great personalities, I think. So I would like to see them win. Also, if the women's tag team champions weren't heels, I for sure would think Natalya and Tamina would win. But with that said, since the tag team women's champions are heels, I would imagine a face team would win. So that kind of leaves us with the other three.
Sure.
But with their wins kind of recently, kind of their momentum going forward, I think that Lana and Naomi are the ones that win here.
Okay. Confidence scale. Steve, give me this one. How confident are you in that?
On like a 1 to 10, I'd probably say an 8. I feel like
Okay.
I'm pretty confident in that.
Okay.
Like I said, there's things that I would want. There's things that based on other stipulations I think would happen, but based on everything that's happening, the current pushes for everybody, I think that's the team that wins it. I think the Riot Squad have a 0% chance of winning this match.
I don't think anybody would want to watch that match though. Them getting just destroyed by Shayna and Nia.
And they would.
And they would. So who do they pin or submit then to win this match?
It's gotta be, my guess would probably be Dana.
Okay.
If I had to pick a person specifically, if it's a team, it's probably Dana or Mandy. But out of the two, I would probably specifically say Dana.
Okay. Not Liv Morgan. She seems like she gets just thrown around a lot. Randomly.
She could. It could be Liv.
Okay.
Between the two, I don't think you sacrifice Ruby Riott for that.
I agree. Yep. I'm staying away from Ruby, taking the fall here in this match for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think Liz has a high possibility, but if I had to pick, I'd say Dana.
Okay. And who picks up the pin then? We're going to throw a lot of predictions out here, Steve. Who picks it up?
The easy thing would be to say Naomi, because obviously she kind of carries the team.
Sure.
But I think maybe Naomi hits like a rear view, and then Lana gets a random tag. They dump Naomi out of the ring, and then Lana gets the pin. Yep. So I think Lana.
Lana pinning Dana Brooke, you said? We'll go with that. Okay. Lana and Naomi then. We'll get to the second part of this match on our Sunday half of the show here. Rounding out Saturday evening, a match I personally, Steve, I'm looking forward to a lot here. WWE Championship, man. We've got Bobby Lashley, the current holder, going up against former champion Drew McIntyre. Let's go.
This is going to be a good one. These are two powerhouse, two heavyweight guys, two guys that have physical, demanding matches. Huge Drew McIntyre fan I am. The guy's great since he's been back. Just everything about him, the accent, just the intensity, his mood, everything. Drew is great.
His Claymore and the way he pulls it off is fantastic. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, for being such a huge guy and just getting totally vertical, just like kicking people in their mouth. It's cool.
He's literally 6 feet off
believable.
The ground, and he's horizontal. Yeah.
It's hugely believable that when that guy kicks someone in the face, they're not getting up for at least 3 seconds.
Right. Agreed. Yeah. Love it. I love it.
Yeah. Bobby, I think he finally gets the push that he deserves. He never got to really be the WWE champion in his previous kind of reign in the WWE. So it's going to be a good one. And it's like the Cesaro Seth Rollins one, where it's kind of a 50-50. But regardless of previous booking, they really haven't booked Bobby Lashley strongly. And they really haven't booked, but they have booked Drew McIntyre very strong. I think, and this is hopeful thinking, hopeful wishing, but also, what I think will happen, but also kind of what I hope will happen. I think Bobby Lashley's push continues.
Okay.
And I think Lashley wins.
Okay. Do you think it's a clean win? Sorry.
Well, I mean, this was what I was going to say anyway. Yeah, I think it is, but I think, it's a huge physical match. Things keep happening, and then Drew just gets caught in the full Nelson's, finisher submission. And I think, it gets to the point where you think Drew's going to break it. He's going to get out of it. No one's gotten out of it. And he goes to break it and just can't quite break it. And Bobby just won't let go. And he finally locks it in, and Drew passes out. He doesn't tap. Mm-hmm. I think he passes out.
I think that would hurt Drew's character to just tap in the middle of the ring at WrestleMania.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's not in his character to do that. At least it would be smart booking not to do that. So I think if he does lose, it's going to be after 4 finishers and a submission hold where he doesn't give up, but he passes out and can't continue.
Okay. So Steve, does Bobby Lashley kick out of a Claymore?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, if you give me the over under on, half a kick out on a Claymore, I would take the over.
Okay. I think that's if you're going with, the Drew McIntyre angle of, well, he gave it his all. He never actually tapped. He just couldn't put up with it anymore. And you're trying to build up Bobby Lashley. I think you have to have Lashley kick out of at least one Claymore here on the grand stage. The main event, the main event 1A. Let's say that, I guess. Or,
right.
On Saturday. Bobby Lashley, confidence scale on this match then, Steve.
Again, this is like a 50-50 for me, so this really could go either way. But I'm probably slightly more confident, so I would say 60%.
Okay. Any funny business in this match that you can think of that might happen?
He's got MVP in his corner, and the old boy, his old boys that he just kicked out could come down and try to cost him. So that's definitely something. Yep. That could for sure happen.
Yep, that's what I was gonna try to get at. Something weird may go on here. Maybe they help Bobby again to try to help get back with him.
Yeah, maybe they're like, "Hey, bro, we helped you out. We love you. Take us back."
Yeah.
Paris.
That could definitely happen here. But taking Bobby Lashley to retain, get his WrestleMania moment here. Looking forward to this match. You know what's great about a non-Brock Lesnar WWE Championship match is I know it's gonna last more than 5 minutes.
Right.
And this is gonna be
Goldberg.
Or Goldberg. Yep. This is going to be good. It's going to be probably a 20-minute just banger.
Yeah.
To round out our Saturday. That will now get us to the halfway point, and we're going to kick things off here with the Sunday first match we have listed on our card here. WWE Raw Women's Championship. We got Asuka taking on Rhea Ripley. Let's go, Steve. Where are we going?
I'm going to make this very, very clear. I will burn my house down if Rhea Ripley does not win.
Heard it here first.
I'm a huge Rhea Ripley fan. The fact that she didn't even win the Royal Rumble, I understand why Bianca Belair did. I get it. She's a great pick. You could go either way, but huge Rhea Ripley fan. The fact that she lost to Charlotte at WrestleMania, I can't remember if it was last year, a couple years ago, whatever it was a travesty. They just cut her push short in NXT for no reason. She's great. She's got the look. She's got the moves. She's got the strength and power, the height, everything you want out of a dominant women's champion. She's like an edgier, if Charlotte is the yin, she's the yang.
Yep.
To that. She's the dark, gritty, Australian version of this, big, tall, athletic, blonde American woman. And she's everything that I would ever want in a woman and more. So if Rhea Ripley does not win, I'm burning everything down.
So that is a 100% confidence rating, it sounds like, on Rhea Ripley.
Absolutely.
She got second at the Royal Rumble, I believe, right?
She did,
with
yeah.
Bianca Belair.
Yep.
So I wonder if they knew what they wanted to do. They couldn't get just Bianca into a women's championship match. They knew Rhea Ripley, it was going to be more believable if they just got her there the natural way, I feel like.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm totally on board with this. Yeah, Rhea Ripley better win this match. If not, WWE, you done effed up, yo.
You done effed up.
And you cost Steve his house. Think about it that way. Vince,
well,
hope
good
you're
thing
watching.
I'm moving soon.
There you go. Exactly. Yeah. Steve taking Rhea Ripley, 100% confidence. Bet the house, as Steve would say in this instance.
Put it all.
That will take us to a match, Steve. There's a couple matches here I have circled, checkmarked, starred. This is one of them. We got another weird thing here. The Fiend versus Randy Orton. Take it away.
If this isn't a Firefly Funhouse match, what the fuck are they doing? If they don't make this a cinematic, just the almost carbon copy of what they did with John Cena a couple years ago, what are they doing? They already had a WrestleMania match for the WWE title where they put maggots on a projector and made it weird. Yeah. Don't do that. Don't do that. Make it a Firefly Funhouse match. Make it epic. Make it awesome. Make it all weird and spooky and whatever. And have Alexa Bliss crawl out of a Randy Orton skin suit, or make it freaking weird. Make it some weird ass shit. And but I think just coming back with being gone so long, if you cut. Randy Orton could take loss after loss after loss. It doesn't matter. He's fucking Randy Orton, right?
Yeah.
his legacy doesn't tarnish. His believability doesn't tarnish. He could lose this match in his next like 7 matches, and then he could be the number 1 contender for the WWE Championship, and you wouldn't question it because he's Randy Orton. So by having the Fiend lose here, you're cutting off his momentum and everything about him. So it's got to be a Firefly Funhouse match, and the Fiend has to win.
We literally just saw Alexa Bliss pin Randy Orton clean in the middle of the ring. How much sense would it make for him to then pin the Fiend or something like that? Like, what does that mean? Is Alexa Bliss then she becomes the Fiend? We just see some like weird transplant. And she starts wearing a mask and braids in her hair or whatever. Like,
right? He catches Alexa on fire. Imagine that.
Oh yeah, maybe Randy Orton reverses some like lightning or something like that Alexa Bliss shoots at him and her arm catches on fire. That would be pretty cool, I think.
Or the Fiend does some weird shit and then he pulls Alexa in the way and he catches her on fire, and
that would be interesting. There's so many things they could do with this match, Steve.
Yeah, and I'm all for it. Give me the weird.
Yes.
We don't have the Undertaker anymore. Give me some weird ass shit.
That's the whole point of this Fiend character. Be weird, WWE. We don't need to see another basic match in the middle of the ring. Be freaking weird and let's go.
Yeah, break it up. Because the match before this is going to be, your standard great wrestling match.
Yeah.
Don't make it, don't make this the point where people get up and walk away. Yeah. Like, make this cinematic, make it weird, make it cool, and let the Fiend win.
Yes, that is the key bit of information here for sure. Fiend, 100%, Steve. I think it's got to be.
Yeah.
Yep. Fiend taking this one here. Again, I'm circling this one. Got a star next to it. Let's go Sunday night. Fiend, Orton, Steve taking the Fiend. Next up, Intercontinental Championship. We've got Big E in a rematch against Apollo Crews. Steve, you called this perfectly, man. You said this was going to be a WrestleMania match. Here we go again for round 2. Big E and Apollo. Who you got?
This one, it's tough to call because obviously they're giving Apollo a push, but Big E is huge. It would be cool to see Apollo get an Intercontinental Championship win, especially at WrestleMania, especially after all kind of the hype he had coming in a couple years ago. Or so many years ago. It's probably been 4 or 5 years at this point. So for him to come back and kind of do that after kind of all the bull crap that he's been through would be cool. If that does happen, I would like to see Big E kind of move up into like the WWE Championship kind of thing, especially if Roman retains. And we'll get into that later.
Yep.
But so this one's hard. Like I'm thinking about it now, but I don't see them crashing and burning Big E's reign just yet. So I think Big E wins.
Okay.
I think Big E retains, but it's going to be like it's going to be a hard fought match.
Yep. And
I think Big E wins clean. So there's I don't think there's going to be any weirdness going on. Mm-hmm. But I think maybe Big E hangs around too long, or Big E's like, hey, bro, no, we're good. And then Apollo freaks out and beats the crap out of him again.
Yep. I can tell, Steve, ready for this? I can tell you're wrestling with the result of this one. I feel like you want Apollo Crews to win this match a little bit.
Yeah, kind of, just because if, again, in a perfect world, Apollo would win, and then Big E would move up into the WWE title picture at that rate, especially if there was a heel champion. Or even if, really, if any of the 3 guys in the WWE or the Universal Championship match win, you could honestly build a story around it. Because if it's Daniel Bryan, you could say, hey, you're a great competitor. I want to wrestle you. I want to see if I'm better than you. You want to have great matches as a champion. You want to be a fighting champion. You want to be a defending champion. Fight me and see who's better. Technician versus, pure strength. Yeah. So that would be a cool one. With Edge, it could go either way. He could be the crazy, heel, or he could be, the I'm back, big level babyface. It could go either way. And with Roman, I think Roman is the best choice because I think, I'm in it to win it, just like my boy Kofi did. I see the shenanigans you're pulling as head of the table. as someone else who's African American or some, of minority descent, I'm with you. You're a strong example, but you're going about it the wrong way. I got to take care of you and take that championship while I'm at it. So there's a lot of storylines. In a perfect world, Apollo win, Biggie moves up,
yep.
W Championship. But I just don't see that happening yet.
Okay. What about Biggie, Bobby Lashley, potentially?
That'd be great.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. Two big bruisers again. That's what Bobby Lashley needs, I feel like. Someone who... Yeah. An AJ Styles versus Bobby Lashley doesn't make sense to me. He needs someone like a Big E.
Yeah. I need someone he can kind of beat up on because, like, an AJ Styles... I don't know. He just catches him once and throws him around, and like it's over. That's what you think would happen. So you need someone who can kind of go tit for tat with him.
Agreed. So confidence level here, Steve. 50-50 again on this one with Big E?
Yeah. This is probably the first one where I'm taking this one just because I think this is what WWE is going to do, but I'm probably like 40% on this.
Yeah, so taking almost like the underdog view in a way.
Yeah.
On this one with Big E. Okay, taking Big E to retain. I don't have this one circled and starred, but I'm curious to see what happens from this match. I really am. Should be a fun one though. I'm an Intercontinental Championship fan to begin with anyway. I feel like this belt is fantastic, and if they use it properly, it can do great things. But then again, it's WWE, Steve, of course. So
just mess it all up. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. So we've got 4 matches left here, guys. Before we go to the next one, leave a like on this video if you want to see more wrestling videos, guys. It goes a long way towards future content here. We will have a video every single pay-per-view here with Cousin Steve, but leaving a like does go a long way. So smash that like button really quick, guys. Let's move on to match 11 here. Again, I've got this one circled. Looking forward to this one. I know you're a big KO fan, Steve. We got Kevin Owens taking on Sami Zayn here. How's Sami Zayn going to get screwed here, Steve? Let's go.
You know what? I think this is where it all comes together for Sami Zayn because, like, Kevin Owens winning on this one, does that make sense? What does that do for Kevin Owens? I don't think it does anything. Nothing. So to continue the storyline again, and out of the things that make logical sense, I think Sami Zayn wins. I think he wins, and then he's like, but then I think he wins, but then he's like mad about it because now he doesn't have anything to complain about. He doesn't have anything to say, oh, they're trying to screw me, they're trying to do me, and he's going to be like, what do I do? And then he's like, crap, my whole shtick is gone. So I think that could be a funny way to steer into that.
Okay, maybe he fires his like production crew or whatever on, SmackDown or something,
or maybe he wins, but then like comes SmackDown the following week, he like edits it to make it look like he lost.
Oh, I like this, Steve. I like this a lot, honestly. Yeah, I'm for that.
He's gonna do something weird and be like, look at this crap, and I was like, dude, Sammy, you won. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
He's gonna have like amnesia. He's like, that Kevin Owens cheated to beat me, and then like someone comes down, they're like, dude, Sammy, you pinned Kevin Owens in the ring.
Sammy, you won.
He's like, no, I got the video footage, and they can. Oh, dude, I like that a lot. Okay, I'm in
it's
for
like
that.
Edited.
Yeah, I'm in for that. That sounds amazing.
Right.
Confidence though that Sami Zayn wins here. Do you think WWE would do that?
Yeah, I think it's like 80 or 90.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty high. I'm pretty high on it. I think that's a cool idea.
Sure. Do you have any thoughts on where KO goes from here out? You may not have thought about it, but any thoughts?
If with KO, he could go anywhere. Obviously, I don't think he bumps up to the WWE Championship because he just came from that whole scene. It's hard to see him getting into the Intercontinental Championship unless there's like some random tournament or melee or something to determine the next, number one contender, or like a ladder match or something. So I don't know. It could go a lot of different ways here. Depends on what kind of KO they want. I think probably most likely he continues the whole Sami Zayn thing. Maybe like your Cesaro idea. Maybe they tag team together now.
Ooh, yeah. They've done that once before, right? I feel like they had an angle and then they tag team for a little bit. I could be completely wrong here.
No, I think it was very, very brief.
Yeah.
It was like they were heels and they were together and they tag team. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I felt like it was brief.
Okay.
So yeah, maybe they go tag team and they'd go for the tag team titles.
Sure. I'm looking forward to SmackDown if Sami Zayn wins this to see what he might say. That would be really good. That's a good call, Steve. We should get Triple H on the phone here and tell him that. That'd
right.
be good.
Sign me up, WWE Creative.
Yeah. Good call there, Steve. Taking Sami Zayn over KO. We got 3 matches here left, guys. Maybe KO inserts himself here somehow. Who knows? I have no idea. WWE United States Championship. We've got current champion Riddle taking on Sheamus. Where are you going, Steve?
The one names. People in WWE can't have two names, can they?
No. Nope.
It just can't be Matt Riddle. It has to be
It's
Riddle.
Riddle. Literally is what he's called now on the website is Riddle.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, you're 100% right.
Yeah.
Like,
Just
they
bizarre.
take away so many first names. Like this is a weird tangent, but why?
What's wrong with Matt Riddle? Like, that's a good name for a bro on a scooter, right?
Yeah.
Like
fucking bro. Hell yeah, bro. Like, yeah, I don't wear shoes, bro. Like,
yeah. Yeah, like
my name's Matt, bro.
Yeah, literally Matt, you know, we have friends named Matt, of course, but like Matt Riddle is like the perfect name for a skateboarding or whatever, you know, douche. Like
yeah, I mean, well, speaking of our friend Matt, I mean, did you see the picture he sent us today? So that pretty much explains it all.
Sent us a golf club with a middle finger sticking out. So
yeah,
sick.
A nice shot.
Put the U.S. Championship on him. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, fucking nice shot, bro.
Sheamus. Yeah. Who you got here, Steve?
So you know what? I'm gonna. Part of me thinks that Riddle will retain, just, you know, to keep his push. But I'm going to go the way that I want to go. I think it's Sheamus. I think Sheamus wins.
I had a feeling you were going to say that. I had, like when you said, I think they're going to put it back on Riddle. But yeah, I knew you were going to say Sheamus.
Yeah, I think, honestly, I think this very well could be a repeat of the whole Daniel Bryan thing where he just bro kicks him in the mouth and that's it. Like, game over.
Especially after all the stuff they put Sheamus through with Drew McIntyre. This just seems a strange pairing for a championship match. I don't know.
I think this is payment because he had great match after great match with Drew McIntyre. So I think this is payment to say, okay, we put it on Riddle. Riddle's been a champion of something. Here you go, Sheamus.
Yeah. Riddle has his foot in the door as a former U.S. champion then after this.
Yeah.
So Sheamus, I'm with you there. Give me the odds, Steve. What do you think percentage-wise on this one?
I think it's like 60.
Okay. Are you confident in a Matt Riddle push as U.S. champion then? Is that why you're going Sheamus as well?
Not super confident in that they would push him. And Riddle, I think Riddle and Sheamus pair well together. Just I think Riddle being a former, you know, MMA fighter, he's very physical, very striky. Mm-hmm. It looks good for, you know, between the two big bruisers. Mm-hmm. He's just a lot more, you know, fast and athletic than your typical striker would be.
Yes. So, Steve, there was an article, I believe I sent it to you, about the U.S. Championship a couple months ago that Keith Lee was actually supposed to win that championship.
Yeah.
Do you think this sets up Sheamus versus Keith Lee then?
God, I hope.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic, right?
That'd be great.
Yeah, because Keith Lee versus Riddle, I don't know.
Yeah, so I think, you know, if you could put Riddle with Keith Lee, it brings out the high flyer in him. But I just think it behooves everyone to put him with Sheamus and just let them beat the crap out of each other.
Yeah. Much more entertaining U.S. Championship match, especially if Sheamus is the title holder. That gives a little bit more credence and a little bit more credit to Keith Lee should he beat Sheamus then as opposed to Riddle.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's what you're looking for with Keith Lee, right? You need to build him up. Beating Riddle for a championship doesn't feel the same as if he were to beat Sheamus. Let's say that.
Right, because it's like, oh, yeah, of course Keith Lee beat, you know, Matt Riddle.
Sure. Yeah. Sheamus.
But he beat Sheamus. It's like, oh, wow, that guy just beat Sheamus. Like, good job.
Yep. It brings a little bit more credit to Keith Lee's United States Championship reign then. 2 matches left here. We will touch on the Women's Tag Team Championship. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, the dominant tag team champions, going up against Steve's winner of the Turmoil, Lana and Naomi. Who you got, Steve?
So I think they pull some shenanigans here, and to get Lana over Nia, maybe, you know, she gets put through another table. I think Lana and Naomi win.
What?
Yeah, here's my surprise pick of the night.
Okay, Lana and Naomi.
Yeah. And I don't have any other reasoning other than Nia and Shayna don't have anything else to do, because, I mean, who else is going to challenge them other than Natalya and Tamina? But heel versus heel, come on. No one wants to see that. So you put it on them. You give them the Lana and Naomi, sort of the underdog feel about them. They're constantly getting beat up by Nia and Shayna, but they somehow keep pulling off wins. So I think that's a better story, that they have these big dominant bad guys and they beat the crap out of everybody, and there's who else is going to challenge for them? Unless you bring up, you know, if you're going to keep it on Nia and Shayna, they need someone else. So bring up maybe Ember and Shotzi Blackheart to fight them.
Okay. So, Stephen, do you think that pushes either Nia Jax or Shayna Baszler towards Rhea Ripley?
I would like, if that happens, I don't think it will. I think they'll kind of meddle with these two for a while. Because I think Charlotte becomes the first one to probably come after Rhea.
Okay.
If either one of these two does happen, I would like to see Shayna because they have a history in NXT. So I think that would be, much better. If you put her up against Nia, I want to see Rhea crush her soul.
Yeah.
Like pick her up, slam her down, beat her bad to prove that she is an absolute badass.
Good setup. Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. So if you're going to do both, start her with Nia, have her decimate Nia, and then you put her in with Shayna and they just beat the crap out of each other.
Yeah, maybe Shayna comes out after Nia Jax gets obliterated and they just stand and stare at each other or something like that. After,
give me that.
Nia Jax just decimated in the corner. Like,
right. And Nia's
wow.
like, what the hell, Shayna? And Shayna's like, get the fuck out of my face. I got this.
Yeah.
You did.
Ooh.
I do.
I like that. I like that a lot. You got to do something with Nia and Shayna. This women's tag team championship does. You think it's stale sitting on them in a way?
Yeah, it doesn't. Like I said, they don't have anything to do because it's like they're almost so dominant that it's who is believably going to take that off of them? Nobody. So you got to have this feel good underdog story kind of underneath it. You know, it is sort of a change for the sake of change because again, they don't have anything else to do, but you can at least throw a storyline in there that's fun and if not less believable, but at least interesting. And then maybe they chase after them for a while and then maybe that leads into Rhea Ripley or maybe they get it back, you know?
Sure. Yeah. So then do you think, last question here, Steve, on this one, do you think there's going to be some shenaniganry where let's say, again, I'll go back to this example where like Nia Jax is holding on to Lana, Shayna Baszler just comes and just kicks her right in the face or something like that. And they're like, oh my gosh. And then Shayna gets thrown out of the ring by Naomi and then Lana pins Nia Jax. Is that feasible?
Yeah, I think that's for sure 100% what could happen. And then maybe that leads to Nia's like, hey, let me go take care of Rhea. She's talking crap. And then she gets crushed. And that's when Shayna's like, no, you said you had it and you didn't. I got it.
Yep. And that keeps the heel feel on Shayna Baszler then as well, I feel like.
It does. Like, you don't need, Nia can kind of go either way. She can be, you know, the big, you know, she's the big goofy girl who, you know, you can, you know, because she's the big girl, which I think Nia could potentially be a great women's wrestler. I think she's more believable as like the big, I beat up everybody heel, but you can fling her either way. With Shayna, make her a heel, make her a badass, make her beat people up, make her hurt people, make her make people bleed.
Yep.
Like
she has the look, I will say. She has the look.
Yeah.
Just like,
which isn't like pretty or
face.
proper or like quote unquote hot. I'm not saying she's not attractive.
Exactly.
Don't say like, don't put words in my mouth, but she's not the typical diva.
Yep.
So just make her what she is, make her a badass, make her hurt people.
Yep.
And keep her as a heel.
That's Shayna Baszler, and that's what makes her so attractive then, Steve.
Yeah.
She could kick my ass in the middle of the ring. It's just fantastic. Right. That's who else
beat me up.
Who else wants that? Yeah, pin me. Like taking Lana and Naomi, some shenaniganry. I'm seeing in this match here too as well, Steve, between Nia and Shayna. Sure. Kicking things off here, Steve. Let's go. Universal Championship. I got the Daniel Bryan shirt on. Y'all can see that up there. Universal Championship. Roman Reigns defending in a triple threat match against Daniel Bryan, who, let's say, worked his way into this match. Versus Edge, who won his way into this match via the Royal Rumble. Let's talk this one out, man. I love this. Let's go. Where are we going?
Oh boy, this is I started this off with saying that I mean they put Daniel Bryan in, so they very well could swerve it and give it to him, and then maybe, you know, they take it off Roman. So then maybe they move into like an Edge Daniel Bryan thing where Daniel Bryan wins. Maybe he like pins Roman or makes Roman tap out. Edge is in the decision. He goes to like say, hey, congratulations. Then freaks out and gives him like a concerto. That very well could be a thing. You could easily see them putting it on Edge. You know, it's this great feel good story. Royal Rumble winner. Because I mean, you always got to give the Royal Rumble winner an edge, right? Because yeah. La, 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 la. just from you figure, okay, they wouldn't give him this huge win and then turn around and not pay off the storyline in WrestleMania.
Yep.
Or you could, it's smart to keep it on Roman too, where he's done such a great job. It's hard to see them taking it off of him maybe so early.
Sure. This one feels tough, Steve. I will say
it's hard.
Yeah.
I will. You know what? I'm gonna look at it this way. I think Roman loses almost for sure, because I think maybe the other Uso comes back and he's like, yes, he's my ace in the hole. I got him. Like, we're here, we're family, let's do this. And then he betrays them all and like takes out his brother, takes out Roman, and now it's down to Daniel Bryan and Edge. So it's like, okay, which one of those two would you pick? Moving forward, so that moves Roman into his storyline with the whole family thing, and the other Uso coming back. I honestly can't remember if it's Jimmy or Jay. I think it's Jay is now and Jimmy
Jay is now, yes, because he's had matches with Daniel Bryan over the past couple of weeks. Yeah,
right. So Jimmy comes back, and that moves him into that storyline. And maybe he brings back some of the other family, like Rikishi and his dad, and so that's a storyline they
family
can
story going forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
So with that being said, I think the storyline that makes the most sense moving forward, and considering he will most likely retire soon, I think Daniel Bryan wins. And just like I said, I think Edge goes, congratulations, freaks out and like concertos him and is like pulling his hair out, doing the whole thing, like flipping out.
Okay.
So it's...
Yeah, Steve,
I sat on this one for a while.
Yeah.
To kind of decide, like, oh man, how is this going to go? How is this going to work? And I don't know. And this could go so many different ways, especially with a triple threat match.
Yep.
But if I had to pick, that's what I'm going with.
Steve, I love you, man. Yes. 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 The cool thing about this match, you've got Roman, the obvious heel, right? Daniel Bryan, the obvious face, and you have Edge doing this fantastic job of tweening right now, I think.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going on in Edge's mind. That's the wild card here that I am looking forward to. Is he potentially during this match going to be like, Daniel Bryan should not be in this match, and him and Roman beat the shit out of Daniel Bryan? Maybe a stretcher comes out for Daniel Bryan. It is a triple threat match. You can use tables, weapons, whatnot in this match.
Yeah.
Do they do that angle then? Have Daniel Bryan come back down the ramp and be like, "Oh my gosh," goes on this tear to end the match then, after being maybe eliminated early on.
Yeah, I mean that's a totally plausible sort of storyline that they can run with that too. Like I said, there's 100 different things.
Yeah,
they do.
That's what gives me giddy about this match, because I don't know, and I think that's why I'm so intrigued. Is that I agree, if Roman loses, it's not by his own volition. He's not going to get pinned or submit, I don't think.
Right.
They played the angle where he tapped to Daniel Bryan. That gave Daniel Bryan, let's call it an upper hand here in this match. They had Edge take them both out with steel chairs. That gives Edge a view in this match. Roman's Roman, right? At this point, he's kind of the dominant heel here. I love it. I think the booking up to this point has been some of the best I've seen in a while, Steve. I don't know about you.
Yeah, and I think Roman, never in my wildest dreams did I ever think I could love Roman Reigns and whatever storyline he's doing, but this is fantastic.
Right.
Like to bring Reigns back when they did and who he was, perfect. Like This is everything that everybody always wanted to happen with John Cena.
Yep.
But in the flesh,
This is not the 2 years ago Roman Reigns, that's for sure. This is not Roman Reigns getting booed out of the building. It's not none of that. Yep, as a babyface, no less. This is not 5 Moves of Doom Part 2 Roman Reigns here. Gosh, Steve, I am looking forward to this. This is going to be the last match they air on Sunday, almost guaranteed. I am also picking Daniel Bryan. I'm wearing the shirt for that reason. I'm looking forward to yesing my way off of WrestleMania night on Sunday, and this is going to be great. This is going to be such a good match. It's 3 people at the top of their game right now, promo and wrestling wise, I think. Let's say.
It's going to be, but it could go any way, and that's I think these kind of matches are the best because you go into it not knowing. I mean, maybe you might hope for something to happen, but you go into it not having any idea what's going to happen. You're just going to watch, enjoy the match, Let's see what happens.
Yep. Get your popcorn ready. Fun match here, Steve. That takes us right over about the 50-minute mark here. Any final thoughts on this match or WrestleMania in general?
Again, if Rhea Ripley doesn't win, I'm burning everything down. She's my girl. Let her win. Gosh darn it.
All right, Steve, putting the house on Rhea Ripley here. Looking forward to WrestleMania this weekend, Steve. This is one of the better WrestleManias I feel like we've seen in a while. So many good matches. The Fiend Orton just tops my list here. Cesaro, Seth Rollins, both WWE Championship and Universal Championship matches look absolutely phenomenal. They really do.
Yeah.
But that will do it here on Off the Top Rope with Steve here for WrestleMania 37. Guys, leave a like if you enjoy all the wrestling content. Smash that like button. Leave your comments down below. Leave your picks, guys. Let's go. Who do you think's going to win? Who do you think's going to win every match? The big matches. Leave whatever your comment want to be. If you want to see more wrestling content, let us know here as well. We hope to see you guys off the top rope in the next episode.
See you guys.